and welcome to my channel, Mama Shoshana. I am Mama Shoshana, also known as Shoshana Mizell. With that being said, here we go. We're going to hit on 4 different bullet points here. One is going to be positivity over situations that come, maybe in daily life or a particularly, stressful event in your life that might be happening, and what we can do to have a positive attitude over that. The second thing is accepting the past. I know that a lot of times the past can either be something that haunts us or something that, we feel we have guilt about, or that we feel resentful that somebody else hurt us. So talking about accepting the past, we cannot change it, but there are things that we can do to make the future better for ourselves. And the third one is following something that provides inner peace for you, which can be, so many different types of activities. And the point number 4 is strengthening your mental health, and, suggestions that you and I together can, have a give and take conversation about this. So with the first one, positivity over situations and challenges that life has to offer. How do we just come up with positivity? Sometimes, you have to just make a choice. You may not feel positive. Just like sometimes in the morning you don't want to get up, but you know that you have to get up because you have to go to work, because you have to pay your rent, you have to pay bills, you have to, have food, you have to take care of your family, you have to take care of yourself. So although initially we might want to just stay in bed, we are thinking of the big picture. And that's the same thing with positivity. Sometimes I'm not feeling positive, but I just choose. I make a mental choice to choose positivity. And that is taking whatever it is that is challenging for the day and purposefully choosing what things in that particular situation I can extract positivity out of. Even if it's something that's challenging, like I'm studying for a test and I'm just not getting the subject matter. And so I, start studying a couple of days ahead of time. And although that's not pleasant, and although I'm nervous about the test, the positivity out of that is that I have ambition, that I am willing to accept, with, a grateful humility that, okay, I'm not really good at this subject, but I have fortitude. I can, study, even if I have to study more than other people, not comparing myself, and, to work really hard. And from that, I can extract the fact that, practicing working hard at something that is very challenging for me is really positive, because it shows that I have strength and I have commitment to myself and to whatever activity that I'm doing. So that's just one little thing, and you can always come up with different scenarios for yourself, and please share them in the comments. I would love to hear what some of your challenges are and how you try to find a positive attitude to deal with that. The next thing is accepting something about our past. How do we accept the past and the fact that we can't change it, and what can we do for the future? So, sorry about that. Somebody's riding a motorcycle in the neighborhood. So if I think about something that I've done in the past, let's say that I felt really guilty over, whatever it may be, it could be anything. Just, you can just think about something in your past and just relate to that with me. There's sometimes that I may have hurt somebody and I've tried to apologize to them, and they do not want to have a relationship with me anymore. Accepting and respecting the fact that that person does not want to have a relationship with me, that's one part of acceptance. Another part is that accepting the fact that I made a mistake, and looking at everything I was dealing with at the time. Sometimes, we make mistakes because we're not prepared. We don't have the tools emotionally, mentally to be able to deal with situations. We may have been brought up a certain way, and we deal with things, or we have issues or traumas that manifest themselves into us, acting a certain way, and we don't know any better. So accepting the past is also part of forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. And that, again, is a choice. Doesn't mean that I'm going to feel a sense of forgiveness or have guilt lifted off of me immediately, but it's a start. It's like just validating, just having a mantra of, forgiveness. And you say that enough, it does change. It changes the hormones that are released in your body. It changes your thought pattern. It changes the narrative of how you talk about that situation, what you think about that situation and yourself. And then, what can we do to learn from that mistake and to move forward and make things better for our future? Well, number 3 is following something that provides inner peace. Okay, so finding maybe a path for yourself that leads to spirituality. And again, spirituality is not religion. It's just having a connection with something that you cannot see. It's not something that's tangible. So let's say if I look at a rose, okay, it's beautiful, but the feeling that I get from that rose, the smell, when I smell the rose, I inhale, there's this sense of peace, a sense of pleasure, the aroma. So I can't see that sense of pleasure. I can't see the aroma itself. And that creates a spiritual, again, not physical, spiritual connection to things outside of myself. But I can feel them inside. So it could be something through faith, having faith that if you meditate every day before you get up in the morning, before you start your day, and you meditate on positivity, you could, tap into a passion. The passion could be, anything. It could be walking in nature, seeing trees and flowers and foliage. It could be taking an art course. It could be taking a dance class. It could be, I'm just sorry, I'm looking at my, I want to make sure that I get all my notes here. It could be just, like walking in nature, just anything that gives you pleasure and creates a feeling inside you that just feels so wonderful. A wonderful thing is to maybe go to the beach and go see a sunset, or get up extra early, at dusk and go see a sunrise, something like that. There's so many beautiful things in nature. And those are memories. They're memories of your senses: smell, sight, touch, hearing. That can really start building up a sense of calmness and serenity in your life, where the stronger you get at that and the more you do it, the easier it is, I think, to tap into that positivity and then take that with you throughout the day. And lastly would be to strengthen your mental health. And I know for myself, there have been times in my life where I have experienced tremendous trauma, and we will, as time goes on, we will talk more about that, and I'll talk more about that in depth. But if you have experienced trauma in your life, and it doesn't have to be something that's horrific. It could be something that doesn't seem like it's that big a deal, but if it affects you and it affects your feeling of happiness and contentment, if it's something that causes you to worry a lot, if it causes you to feel like you just feel depressed or you don't want to eat or you're not sleeping well, then that is something that really affects you, and it is valid. It is a legitimate feeling. So there's been times where I have had to seek professional help from a therapist, where I have had to do things like maybe realizing that there are certain people or certain relationships in my life that were not healthy for me, and setting boundaries with certain people, setting boundaries in certain situations. And that could be anywhere. That could be in personal situations, personal, family or children or spouses. It could be at work as well. It could be with coworkers. So strengthening your mental health could be a result of doing all the things we talked about, is focusing on positivity. And when you don't feel positive, not to bury that, because that is, in my opinion, because I've done it before, it's very dangerous. Wanting to always be on that pink cloud and be happy, and thinking, well, if I want to help others, that means I have to be happy. But sometimes, you're not happy, and that's okay. Sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're angry. It's just, for me, I felt that it has been harmful to my mental health to push feelings down. So again, there's some times that we can't do anything about those feelings. We can't stop them, but we can do things to affect our breathing. For example, when you're upset about something, taking a deep breath in and exhaling, putting on a candle and putting on soft music. Although it's not a way to solve the problem, but it is you or us taking some control over our body, because it is our body and our mind that has to deal with all this stress. We are the vessel that holds, all our life experiences. So being good to this vessel, being loving and kind, can not only be wonderful for us, but we can be a power of example, even if we don't know it. Sometimes, we are living our life and we are doing things that are, healthy for us, and people notice that. Sometimes people will say, oh wow, you seemed so sad or so depressed, and you just seem so much happier. Like, what have you been doing? And that is another spiritual connection, when you get to connect with another human being and they get to, observe you and observe the changes that you're making in your life. That is a beautiful spiritual connection with another human being. Something that you're doing, not through telling somebody what you've done, but through acting and taking action into a happier life that other people observe. So that's our podcast for today. I wish you a wonderful day, morning, evening, wherever it is that you are in the world. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I just love you so much because you're trusting me. You are taking the time to share ideas with me, and that's what this is all about, Mama Shoshana's community. So have a wonderful evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Mwah! Goodbye, and God bless you, and I will see you very soon.